Okay, in this video we're going to talk about the negative exponent rule and the zero exponent rule. So let's do this one first, because anything to the 0 power equals 1. Remember that from the graphic organizer. And then the negative exponent rule is going to look like this. Or if you start with the negative exponent downstairs, then you move it upstairs. So that's just a review of the rules. So what I say is, whenever you see a negative exponent in a problem, first thing you want to do is turn that problem into a fraction if it isn't already a fraction. Then start with a fraction, end with a fraction. So x to the negative 3, that means because the x's exponent is negative, it's unhappy up there. So we want to move it downstairs and make it happy. Notice when I move it, the exponent becomes positive. Now there's nothing upstairs here, and when I say upstairs, I'm kind of pretending this is a house. This is upstairs, this is downstairs. X is clearly unhappy upstairs, so move it downstairs. The negative is gone, so it is now positive or happy. If there's nothing left upstairs, you put a 1 in there. All right, let's look at this one. First step, ooh, I see a negative exponent. Turn it into a fraction. Excuse me. And then start with a fraction, end with a fraction. Now what you want to be careful here is you want to look at each of these terms individually. So the 5 has an exponent of 1. It's not negative, so the 5 is happy upstairs. Leave it upstairs. Then go to the A. The A has a negative exponent, which means it needs to move. It needs to move to the bottom, and the negative exponent becomes positive. B to the 0, what's that? Anything to the 0 power is 1. So this becomes 5 times 1 on the top, or just 5 over a squared. Okay, again, not a fraction, but I see negative exponents, so turn it into a fraction. Start with a fraction, end with a fraction, so write your fraction line. Negative 4 is not unhappy. It's got a negative out front, but it does not have a negative exponent. So you leave it right where it is. Leave it upstairs. A has a negative exponent, so that means it needs to move downstairs, and when you move it, make the exponent positive. B is also unhappy upstairs because it has a negative exponent. Move it downstairs, make the exponent positive. So this one is one that students often make a mistake on because they see a negative and they go, that needs to move. Remember, you're only looking for negative exponents. A negative number is fine. It can stay right where it is. Okay, I want you guys to try these. Pause the video and try these. So here is what you should have gotten. That's a 3. Okay. Go on to another example. Again, this is combining. When I say altogether, I mean we're combining rules on these problems. So if I look at this, I see division, I see a 0 exponent, I see a negative. So this is a big combination. Always when you start with a fraction, though, think I'm probably going to end with a fraction. 6 divided by 3 is 2. A to the 0 is 1. So you can start, now that we've gone over it a little, you can start thinking, A to the 0 is just 1. So I'm just going to cross that A to the 0 out. A to the negative 2 means this A is unhappy in the denominator, so I need to move it to the numerator or upstairs and make the exponent positive. So now I have a 1 on the bottom. When you have a 1 on the bottom, that's just the same as 2a squared. Right? Because anything divided by a 1, 9 divided by 1, is 9. 452 divided by 1 is 452. So 1 on the bottom, we don't write. Now, a 1 on the top, 1 divided by 1 divided by 452. So a 1 in the numerator, that has to stay there. You can see this turns into a fraction. So 1 on the bottom, you can get rid of it. 1 on the top, right? This is 1/4. That has to stay. Don't rewrite that as 1. 4 over 1 is just 4. If you're not sure, punch it in the calculator. If you punch it in and you get a whole number, then you're good. If you punch it in and you get a decimal, you have to leave the 1/4. Okay, let's look at this one. Start with a fraction, end with a fraction. So I'm going to write my fraction symbol. And then I'm just going to go term by term. First, I'm going to simplify my coefficients. So let's see, 4 over 6. I'm thinking, I don't know what this is. So I'm going to do 4, ABC, 6, enter. And I get, can you see that? 2/3. Why is that? Because 2 divides evenly into 4 and 6. They're both even numbers, so they have to be divisible by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So just simply simplifying the fraction there. Okay, now I have an a to the -5. It's unhappy, so I'm going to move it down to the bottom. And it might be helpful as you're doing this to just cross out the ones you've already taken care of. B to the 7th, leave that right where it is for now. It doesn't have a negative exponent, so keep it upstairs. Now I already did the 4, 6, simplified that to 2/3. So now I have a to the -2 on the bottom. It's not happy. Move it upstairs, make that -2 a +2. On the bottom, I have b to the -3. It's not happy because it has a negative exponent, so move it upstairs, make the -3 a +3. Okay, now I've gone through everything. Notice I've gotten rid of all my negative exponents. When you are fully simplified, you should never have negative exponents. You should also not have 0 exponents. So fully simplified means fractions are simplified. Each variable occurs only one time. No negative exponents, no 0 exponents. So we're close, but we have 2 A's and 2 B's. So this is not fully simplified. I should only have 1 A and 1 B, or I should say A should only occur once and B should only occur once. So now I'm looking at the numerator there, and I notice I have b to the 7th times b to the 3 to the 3rd. So first I'm just going to copy my a squared right now. B to the 7th times b to the 3rd is going to become b to the 7 plus 3, and a to the 5 on the bottom. I'm kind of doing these step by step, because notice I'm just working on the b's right now. I'm kind of ignoring the a's. I'll get to those in a minute. Okay, 2/3 copy job. For now, I'm going to do a copy job on the a. This is going to become b to the 10th. I'm getting close, but I need to combine these a's. So this is division. So circle the bigger exponent. 2 over 3 stays. I'm going to have my a's end up on the bottom, and because I'm dividing, that's going to become 5 minus 2. When you're dividing, you subtract the exponents. B to the 10th stays right where it is. Almost done. 2 over 3, b to the 10th, a to the 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, this is why this is fully simplified. Fraction simplified. 1a, 1b. No 0 exponents, no negative exponents. That means you are done. Okay, so I have some for you to try here. They're a little tricky. Not too bad, I would say. So pause the video, try these. Make sure you're pausing and trying these on your own. because you don't really know if you can do it until you try it by yourself. So hopefully you've tried these, and I'm just going to write the answers. You should have gotten y to the 9th over 25, or if you left it as y to the 9th over 5 squared, I would say that's fine too. This one you should have gotten x to the 4th over 5y to the 3rd. And this one you should have gotten 1. Okay, that is it, I believe. Yep, the next is your practice.